the Checkered Floor Garage. My name's Frank, and this is my 2004 Kawasaki Vulcan 750 with just under 33,000 miles. As you can see, I'm in the process of replacing my stator, but before I put everything back together, I wanted to use this opportunity to show some of the internals of my engine using this boroscope that I got here on Amazon, in order to be able to see what you can't see. So come on, let me show you a couple cool things. Let's first check out the cylinder crosshatching, which is a pattern of intersecting angled scratches created by a machining process called honing during manufacturing of the engine. The crosshatching creates microscopic valleys and grooves on the cylinder walls that act as reservoirs to hold the engine oil. Luckily, my crosshatching looks to be in really good shape. Now I'm going to turn over the engine in order to be able to look at the exhaust valves. These valves get up to over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit in temperature, and they should be about medium gray to slightly brown in color. If the engine is running too rich or if you're burning oil, the valves will be darker gray or black. Too lean, and the valves could be white, but also white deposits could be indicative of a coolant leak. If you see green, especially a crescent-shaped area near the valve edge, this indicates severe overheating. Taking a look at the exhaust valves from the front cylinder behind the exhaust manifold, you can see that little hole there drilled in the left. That's actually where the reed valve leads to, and that's where fresh air is injected into the exhaust stream in order to help burn unburned fuel as part of the Kawasaki's emissions system. Next, let me turn over the engine again, and let's take a look at the piston head. It's got some crud on it, which I think there is a lot of, considering I routinely use 2 to 3 ounces of seafoam with every single fuel fill-up. And also, last time I looked a few years ago when I got this Borescope, the piston heads looked like this. So I don't know, maybe the extra crud is because the last few rides I didn't get the engine hot enough up to operating temperature because I was troubleshooting my stator. When I get back to riding this year, I'll make sure I get the engine nice and hot after some long rides, and if anything looks different, I'll be sure to make another video, a little addendum to this one. And same thing with the intake valves. Got some crud on it, not terrible, but what I think is really important is you see that nice clear strip where there is no crud. That's where the valve seats up with the cylinder head, and that's looking nice and clean. This shows my personal favorite view from any engine, just the movement of the piston up and down with the valves opening and closing. At 3,000 RPM, which is a common cruising RPM for this bike, the intake and exhaust valves open and close 1,500 times in 1 minute, which is about 25 times per second. Taking a look here at the spark plugs while we're at it, what you're looking for here is a nice paper brown bag color, nice brown tint. These are iridium tipped plugs, and I've had them in since, 13,000 miles, and now I'm over 30,000 miles. Really good spark plugs. The Vulcan 750 uses a constant velocity carburetor, which uses engine vacuum to control the fuel flow, rather than a direct mechanical connection between the throttle and the fuel delivery system. The constant velocity aspect refers to the carburetor's ability to maintain a relatively consistent airflow speed through the venturi, which is the narrowest part of the carburetor. I'm going to open up the throttle here. Let's pass by this throttle valve and then take a look at the intake valves from the other side. I think this view does a really good job illustrating the benefits of using not only good fuel, but something like seafoam in the fuel, because check out how clean these valve stems are. I'm going to turn over the engine again to show what this looks like when the valves are in motion. Really cool. Let's back on out and check out the bottom end of the V-twin engine here in the Vulcan 750. This is the shift shaft, and then I'm going to focus in here on these two circlips. In a crash or if the bike gets toppled over, it's common for these, or one or both of these circlips to come off. And if they do, you got to tilt the engine to take off the stator case to get those clips back on. Next, let's check out this port here and get past these, I think they're oil pickup tubes. And I'm going to focus right in here on this bearing. It's a good looking bearing for 30,000 miles. A lot of the things in here, luckily, are looking good considering the age and miles of the bike. Next here, checking out this adhesive that holds the two halves of the engine together. Again, looking good. Now I'm going to hang a right after these oil pickup tubes, pass by this rod bearing bolt for the rear cylinders connecting rod, and then take a look here as much as I can see of the front cylinder connecting rod. And then here's what that looks like in motion. A lot of it is blocked by the counterweight for the rear cylinder, but nonetheless, I think it's still really cool to see. And then backing out here from the upper left port in the stator case area, and we're going to check out next this bottom right port, see what's going on in there. And then here's another close-up of another bearing and circlip. God have mercy on your soul if this circlip comes off. You got to do a full engine teardown. And then checking out this little pocket here, this little corner. Not much to see other than a nice little Made in Japan stamp. Last time that saw the light of day was 2004 when this bike was made. Backing out here. Next, we're going to check out the oil screen. All right, at first, I try to get a look of this port here to kind of see where the oil goes to or leads from, but no luck. I can't make that, tight of a turn. So let's just go on deeper, only to find a dead end. And then I dip the camera in the oil. So let me back on out and just give the camera a little wipe down. Excuse the eyes there if it's a little blinding. Bright. Okay, good. Checking out the underside of the engine through the 17 mil main oil drain bolt. Taking a look here at what I'm assuming this is an oil pickup tube or an oil tube that leads to lubricating somewhere. It's got some crud on it. And again, I show the engine in movement. Next, I found this chain here. I'm going to focus in on here, get a nice shot of that. Looking really clean, really good. Let's again back on out. And next, we'll check out behind the transmission cover. This piece here is called the shifter paw. It engages with the shifter gear star on the right in order to shift up and down through the 5 gears of the Vulcan 750. The roller there in the bottom right looks good. This thin metal piece there, that's the shepherd's hook. It's easy to get on and off. I've done that in the past video. Behind there is the return spring that kind of holds everything and just returns everything to the neutral position. Next, let's head on through this port. Check out this this side of the shaft, which is connected all the way to the front to the shifter shaft, which is where you use your left foot to shift up and down through the gears. It's going all the way down to the end. If anything happens with this shifter shaft, you are in pretty bad luck. You got to tear down the engine, split it open in order to be able to get to this. And let's get out of here one last time, and that'll wrap up the Borescope tour of my Vulcan 750. In the next video, I'll start putting everything back together, and I can't wait to get back out on the road. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.